How to really love a woman. Every man needs to know how to really love a woman. You know what? I got 4 degrees and no one taught me how to love a woman. Ever taught me how to love a woman. Now I'm going to share with you some things that can be really helpful. And yes, you can get this, the How to Really Love a Woman. It's like hours long. Okay, I think it's like 8 or 9 hours long. That'll really get into the depth of it. But today, that's our topic. So I want you, if you have yet to subscribe to our channel, please do. And if you have a question about women or how to love them, or any question, just put it in the box below. We'll get to it as soon as possible. And stay tuned. This could change your life. How to really love a woman. Thank you for tuning in today's topic. Now, I'm going to be referencing information out of this DVD series. I think it's 8 or 9 weeks long, where you go through 30 minutes each topic and you learn how to love a woman. Let me first tell you, how has this product come about? It's kind of an odd name. Well, I did a big conference. I mean, there was 5,000 men at this conference. It's filled a hockey stadium in Canada. And they gave me the topic on how to really love a woman. And I thought, well, okay, that sounds like pretty basic stuff to me, right? I've been, at that point, probably married 20 plus years and was pretty good at it, and taught men who recover from sex addictions and intimacy anorexia, who are really not good at intimacy, how to love their wives. So I had a lot of experience in training men, but I never sat down and isolated. How do you do this? Well, after I spoke, I only spoke for 30, 45 minutes. They sold so many of those tapes. I mean, there were lines of men buying these tapes. And I noticed that. I'm like, wow, there's a real hunger for men inside of them to know how to love a woman. And like myself, they got no training from their dad. Like, here's how a woman thinks. Here's what she needs. Here's how the operating system works, son. It's different than yours. You need to figure out how to do this and this skill to be able to use that operating system. We got no training as men on how to really love women, other than, provide for, make good money, be nice to her, buy her flowers on Valentine's Day, don't forget her birthday, and stuff like that. And so what men actually know about loving women can usually be reduced to a paragraph. Well, that's sad if you expect that paragraph to last 70 years. Because once you marry a woman, they really expect that you know how to love a woman. For them, it kind of goes like this. If you bought a car, you should know how to drive the thing before you buy it. Now, that makes sense from a woman's perspective, but there's nowhere in Western culture or Eastern culture that I'm aware of where you go through a class, a training that says, now here's how women operate. Here's what they need. Here's what they think they need. Here's what you can do. Here's what you can't do. These are possible things for you. These are impossible things. Where's all that information? I mean, human beings have been living for thousands and thousands of years. Why hasn't someone just put together like, hey, here's how women work? Now, it won't be an end all because women are unique. Everyone's different personality, different history, spiritual, emotional, sexual preferences, all of that. But how can you love your woman? Well, that's what we're going to talk about here. I'm just going to go through briefly some of the ideas that can help you in how to love women. First of all, you have to have intentionality. Without intentionality, you're not going to be successful. If your goal is not on a regular basis how to improve loving your wife or your partner, you're not going to reach that goal. You're going to start taking them for granted. They're going to feel isolated, and that can really hurt you. Now, if you struggle in your personal life with addictions like sex addiction, alcoholism, drug addiction, or intimacy anorexia is the active withholding of spiritual and emotional intimacy. You're too busy for her, you blame her, you withhold love, you withhold praise, you withhold sex, or you're disconnected during sex, you withhold spiritually, you're unwilling to talk about your feelings, use anger and silence as a way to control, you're critical, sometimes you control our money, but your spouse complains about feeling like a roommate. If that's you, these are things that will keep you from being successful at really loving a woman. So that's something you deal with personally, all right? Now, as you move forward, loving a woman takes patience. And newsflash, loving a man takes more patience, okay? I find that women are generally nice people. Men, not as gentle, okay? But you have to be patient. And part of your being patient is listening. Now, listening means you're not talking at the same time she's talking. That all by itself can help you not get in so many fights, because if you talk while she talks, she feels unheard and she will escalate. And so if you're constantly escalating with your spouse, you're really needing some more tools. And we have those in some of our marriage books, but I'm not getting into that. But you really need to listen patiently. Now, purely, let me talk about that for a second. Your wife or partner expects you to be reasonably sexually pure. They expect you not to cheat on them. They expect you probably not to do pornography. There are exceptions to that, but generally speaking, if you're doing something with your sex organ, they want to be a part of it, or they want to know what's going on. And if you've got a secret life, whether it's porn, the internet, Facebook, you got intrigue addiction going on in your life where you're constantly getting intrigue from different people, she's going to sense that, and that's going to be a problem. So in here we walk about how to do that. Now, how to love sexually. Listen. Other than pornography, people are not teaching you how to make love to a woman. Now, I've got a great book called Upgrade Your Sex Life. It'll teach you her sexual expression, what she needs to hear in bed, outside of the bedroom, after sex, all that. And it teaches her what your sexual expression is. It's a great book, get that. But you want to make love to her. So I'm going to give you 3 tips right now. I'm just going to be generous today. These are in some of our marriage books. Any of them would have some of this information. But you want to keep your eyes open during sex. You want to look into her, not just at her. Yes, she's beautiful, and you want to look at all the beautiful parts that she has, yes. But take some time and look her right in the eye while you're making love to her. Number 2, talk to her. And I am not talking dirty talk. For most women, that does not turn them on. That makes them feel used and alone, and that you're having sex with something other than them. Okay? Now, there are some women where they just disconnect. That's fine. They don't care what you're saying. But most women want to be talked to for who they are, what you love and appreciate about them, not just sexuality, but who they are. So find their sexual expression and find out what they need to hear that's really critical, and have some kind of light on. It doesn't have to be theatrical lighting like what's in the studio here with me. Just a simple candlelight. Make sure that she knows that you want to behold her. Now, those are 3 great tips, and I know a lot more about sexuality. Upgrade Your Sex Life has a lot in it. And if that's a weakness, you definitely want to do that. Spiritually, you want to have a spiritual plan. Most women have a sensitivity spiritually. And whether you come from a faith background or not, you don't need to. You just pray with her or do some spiritual reading or get in some kind of rhythm with them spiritually so they feel like there's groundedness there. Now, the next thing, emotionally, I'm telling you, where in the world does a guy get a class on being emotionally fit, emotionally intelligent? They'll talk about the importance of emotional intelligence, some great books on that. But I've yet to see something really pragmatic until we wrote the book, Emotional Fitness. It literally in 60 days can take you from an emotionally dwarf to an emotional giant. You can become better at identifying and expressing your feelings than your wife or your partner. Gender is not the issue, it's skill. And in Emotional Fitness, I teach you that skill. Very important book if you're trying to be how to really love a woman. Okay, and in the DVD, I teach you some of those exercises just to be able to share your feelings with her, 2 feelings a day. I give you a script that's really powerful. Okay, so you can do that. It doesn't matter how you grew up. If your dad was a raging alcoholic who anytime he had a feeling he got drunk, you don't have to be that guy. You can be mature and emotionally intelligent and skillful. I'm incredibly good at emotions because I've been practicing for many, many years. Okay, dating, you want to take her out on dates, okay? You didn't marry her to bore her. And if you're going to bore her, she's going to find some other way to entertain herself. Make sure you got some money in your budget for that. And there's so much more in how to really love a woman. Listen, I wish I could just impart this in 10 minutes. I can't. Literally, I think it's 4 or 5 hours long on how to really love a woman. And even since this tape, I've learned so much. Okay, women are incredible creatures. They're beings, they're souls, they're spirits, their bodies, they're beautiful. They love so well with all their heart. And they want you to be able to do that, but you've not been trained to do that. And oftentimes you feel like a failure. You feel like, I'm never measuring up. She wants me to be her girlfriend. No, she wants you to listen with your heart. She wants you to ask her what she feels. She wants you to be able to share what you feel like an intelligent adult. That's what she's experiencing. Now, if you have the skills that I'm presenting here, you can do that. I've seen tens of thousands of men love their wives once they got a hold of this information on how to really love a woman. So you be that guy who takes time, get this, download it, watch it. Even if you just watch a half hour a week, it'll move you towards being progressively better with being an incredible, not just husband or partner, but lover and friend. She needs you to know how to love a woman. Now, if you have yet to subscribe, please do, because there's a lot of information here. If you got a question, please put it in the box.